The Supreme Court invalidated most of President Trump's tariffs, kicking off a lengthy refund process. The White House, however, says this doesn't signal the end of the president's tariff agenda. Fox's Mike Emanuel has more from the D.C. Bureau.
The American economy is the strongest and most resilient in the world.
President Trump's top trade officials went to Capitol Hill on Wednesday answering tough questions from skeptical lawmakers about the president's trade policy. Democrats are calling on the White House to wind down tariffs after most were invalidated by a Supreme Court ruling. They claim bringing back steep import taxes could be a violation of that ruling, but officials say the president is doubling down.
The administration is trying to reinstate IEEPA tariffs with indeed a flimsy pretext.
The president, his trade policy has not changed. He's not going to go back to the old situation.
At a separate hearing, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent defended the tariffs, claiming they're helping to bring manufacturing back to the U.S. And any inflationary pressure will be wiped out when the price of gas starts falling, though it's not clear when that will be.
How does all of this help families solve the key price of affordability in the United States today?
President Trump has shown that he is good at getting energy prices down.
Democrats are also demanding more transparency about the tariff refund process, which kicked off Monday. Some small and medium-sized businesses say they don't believe they'll be getting their money back anytime soon.
I'm pretty concerned and was pretty concerned and still am pretty concerned that this system is going to get overloaded.
The White House says businesses should start seeing those refunds 60 to 90 days after they submit their claims. In Washington, Mike Emanuel, Fox News.